Well, Louisville is filled, with delicious cuisines all over the city. And with Louisville Food Tours, you now have the chance to get a taste of what all these different places have to offer, while also getting a glimpse of the history of food right here in Louisville. Joining us here on Great Day Live with more on the tours and how you can enjoy them is co-founders Jeremy and Leah Garcia. And it's so great to meet you guys.
You too.
Right?
Thanks for having us.
This is one of those ideas you hear and you're like, oh, why didn't I think of that, right? Because we needed this in the city. We have a great foodie town.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, take us back to kind of where this idea came from of, hey, let's do a food tour.
Yeah, so we travel a lot. We're big travelers, big foodies. And we had taken these food tours all over the world in these amazing destinations that you think of as you want to experience the food there. And we thought, why isn't there something like that here in Louisville? I mean, we have amazing food. We have beautiful historic neighborhoods. We need something like that to showcase to visitors to our city how amazing it is here. So we thought, well, maybe we can do that. And here we are.
You got plenty of choices to create God knows how many tours,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, that wasn't the hardest part.
Yeah.
Throw a rock and it's a great restaurant.
Yeah. Like, how are we going to do this once people really start signing up for it?
Paring down was the hardest part.
Right. Yeah. And I like you kind of organized it into, because we kind of got like parts of the city that you looked at to say, how can we do it here, and of course, I mean, bourbon and drinks.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, finding places that were walkable it was a challenge because, you can drive to so many wonderful places, but we wanted to do walking food tours. So, we started with Nulu, of course, which has such a great density of restaurants, beautiful areas. We dip a little bit into Butchertown for that tour, and that was our flagship when we started. And it's
what
still
are some of the
my favorite.
restaurants? Does it change each time, or like what is on like the Nulu tour, for example?
Well, our starting point is Goodwood Brewing and Spirits. We also, the idea behind Louisville Food Tours is that we tell the story of Louisville one bite at a time, and so we try to grab places that are specific to Louisville and Kentucky as a whole. So we have, Majeska's at Muth's on the Nulu tour, right? Pretzels and beer cheese, which was invented in Winchester, Kentucky. We always joke that beer cheese seems like the most Wisconsin thing, but it's a Kentucky invention.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm going to tell my Wisconsin friends that. I can't wait.
Last week we had a group. There were 6 people from Wisconsin, and they were like, "We didn't do this."
What do you mean?
Yeah.
So just the beautiful stories that I think sometimes we have these in our mind, and I'm like, who do we tell these to? I love that you've kind of intertwined these great little musings on the tour. And so are you all talking through it, or do we listen to headsets, or what does it feel like going on the tour?
Both. I have a mic, and there's a headset so they can hear me, and that empowers people to stop to take pictures. It's also an accessibility thing.
Yeah.
We have people of all ages on the tour, so it's just easiest to give them a headset so they can hear.
But we have a fantastic team of guides who are telling the story of Louisville progressively through each thing that you're sampling, and talking about the history of the neighborhoods as you walk through them and pointing them out. And we even have pictures that we show of what these places used to be like in the 1800s and 1900s. So it's very immersive.
Definitely.
And our guides are such great personalities, and they throw their own spin on a lot of the stuff. And I learned from them too.
Really? Yeah. And they're probably surprising you with like new nuggets all the time.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So outside of Nulu, where else do you go?
So we also have the Highlands Food and History Tour. So for that one, we focus on the neighborhood of the Highlands, specifically the original Highlands and Cherokee Triangle. We kind of walk through there. There's a lot about how those neighborhoods came to be, and then we talk about the architecture involved there. We talk about the Victorians, the Queen Anne's, the federal homes, as well as how Irish immigrants shaped that neighborhood. So that's the Highlands Tour. And then we also have our evening tour, which is the Phantoms of Prohibition. And so that takes place on Whiskey Row and down 3rd and 4th Street downtown. And so that is a Prohibition history cocktail tour, and then we throw some ghosts in there.
I was going to say, this sounds like perfect. I bet,
Yeah.
You all started this, last October? Can you imagine the people that you're going to have like heading into Halloween this year?
I know, we didn't even have that tour last year.
That's a whole other group,
Yeah, we started
right?
that tour a few months ago thinking like, oh man, spooky season
you're gonna
comes.
Regret this.
Yeah.
You're going to regret this. And then beyond that, what are you thinking? Like, what's next? Like, are you already thinking, oh, okay, Savannah has this kind of tour. Maybe that would work well here.
We have a lot of ideas in the
Yeah.
works. You know, it takes months for anything to come to fruition. We have to get all of our restaurant partners on board. We have to do a bunch of research. We have to script everything out. So it does take a while, but we have a few that we're working on. We'd like to have another evening tour option. We'd like to have some more daytime food options. So yes, we're definitely looking at which neighborhoods we can move into next.
And do you think these tours are good for all ages, or is it a certain age that you recommend, and tourists or locals or both?
Definitely both tourists and locals. We get about a 50-50 split of each.
Yeah.
Locals tell us that they've learned something new about their city.
Yeah.
They've discovered new items on menus of places that they've already been and loved, and they found new restaurants. So definitely a good fit for both.
And then as far as ages, we do feature alcohol on our tours, but we do have a non-drinking ticket. And so we say non-drinking, and that's if you are over 21 and you just don't want to
You may have the designated driver in the
Yeah,
group
exactly.
once
Or
again,
under
everybody comes
21
in.
as
Yeah.
well.
I just don't like to day drink that much, and I just want a sip of his.
Right?
So
Yeah.
I'll save some money
We
on
get
the
a lot of
non-drinking
that.
ticket.
We get a lot of like, we'll just split. So all ages, kids, we say, you know, as long as they can hang for 3
Yeah.
hours, but we do let kids, our toddler goes on some of the
Yeah,
tours.
seriously.
And
Yeah.
infants under 2 are free because we
Yeah.
know they're just going to pick at your food anyway. So
This is a great thing that you have visitors come to town. You're like, hey, great idea, go.
Yeah.
Do this.
Yeah,
You'll enjoy
see you in
this.
a few
Get out
hours.
of my house. Yeah, see you in a few hours. It is so great to meet you guys. And before we go, the blogs that we can follow.
Yes.
Yes.
So we also run Let's Go Louisville, which is a Kentucky travel blog, as well as Practical Wanderlust, which is a global travel blog. And then if you want to book a food tour, you can do that at LouisvilleFoodTours.com.
Love it. So many ways to enjoy our city and our state. Thank you both so much. Once again, you know, to book that tour, just go to LouisvilleFoodTours.com.